There's this moment that happens every single night. You're lying in bed. The house is silent, too silent. And suddenly, every creak in the floorboards sounds like an intruder. Every distant car sounds like it's about to crash through your wall. So you do what you've always done. You reach for your phone, pull up a 10-hour rainstorm video, or turn on a fan, or let Netflix autoplay in the background. And finally, you can sleep. Your partner thinks you're insane. How can you sleep with all that noise? But here's what they don't understand. You're not sleeping with the noise. You're sleeping because of it. And what looks like a quirk is actually your brain executing a brilliant survival hack that most people will never understand. Let me tell you what's really happening. Silence isn't peaceful for everyone. For some brains, maybe yours, silence is a threat detector's paradise. Because when there's no baseline sound, your auditory system goes into hyperdrive, scanning for danger. Every little sound becomes a potential emergency. That's not anxiety, that's evolution. Your ancestors who heard the twigs snap in the silent night, they survived. The ones who slept through it, they didn't. But you've found the cheat code, auditory masking. When you layer consistent noise, white noise, rain sounds, a fan humming, you're not adding chaos. You're creating a sound blanket that covers up all those unpredictable micro-noises. It's like putting your threat detector on standby, not off, just calm. They found that people who sleep with noise often have what's called high sensory processing sensitivity. That's not a disorder, it's a trait. It means your nervous system picks up more information from the environment than the average person's. You notice subtleties others miss. You feel textures deeper. You hear the refrigerator hum from 2 rooms away. And at night, when the world goes quiet, all that sensitivity turns into a liability, unless you drown it out. Now let's talk about the origin story, because this usually starts somewhere specific. A lot of noise sleepers grew up in environments that were either too chaotic or too quiet. If you grew up in a loud house, siblings, TV always on, constant activity, silence feels wrong. Your nervous system learned that noise equals safety, presence, connection. Silence meant something bad happened. Everyone left, the energy died. So now, as an adult, you recreate the noise because it feels like home. But there's another path. Maybe you grew up in a silent house where every sound mattered, where you learned to listen for footsteps, for mood shifts, for the subtle audio cues that told you whether it was safe or not. And now, silence triggers that same hypervigilance. Noise isn't the problem, silence is. Because silence makes you work. Noise lets you rest. Here's the neurochemical layer most people miss. When you play white noise or rain sounds, you're not just masking sound, you're triggering parasympathetic nervous system activation. That's your rest and digest mode. Consistent, predictable sound tells your brain, no surprises here, stand down. It's why babies sleep better with womb sounds. It's why you sleep better with your fan on. It's pattern recognition as a sedative. But let's get real about the shadow side. If you can't sleep without noise, if you travel and panic because there's no white noise machine, if you need the TV on even when your partner hates it, that's when the tool becomes a crutch. There's healthy preference, and then there's dependency, and only you know which side of that line you're on. Here's what I want you to understand. Needing noise to sleep doesn't make you high maintenance, it makes you sensorially aware. You're not broken because you can't sleep in silence. You're just wired to need auditory consistency. And in a world that celebrates minimalism and natural sleep, that can feel like a flaw. But it's not. It's adaptation. The people who sleep in total silence, they're not better sleepers. They just have different nervous systems. Neither is superior. But you don't owe anyone an explanation for what helps you rest. Your brain has requirements. Meet them. So here's your new identity. You're not weird about sleep. You're an auditory regulator. You're not dependent on noise. You're leveraging your sensory system for optimal rest. And that 10-hour rainstorm video? That's not a crutch. That's self-care infrastructure. Next time someone asks why you sleep with the TV on, just say, "I'm managing my auditory environment for parasympathetic activation." Watch their face. It's worth it. Hit subscribe if you want more psychology breakdowns that make your quirks make sense. Next video, the psychology of people who overthink every text message. Because yeah, we're going there. You're not needy, you're just calibrated differently. And that's not a bug. It's your system working exactly as designed.